evening. My name is Publio. I'm gonna sing a couple of songs to prepare our environment, to prepare our soul for the Spiritist talk tonight. So welcome to our meeting. First of all, I'm gonna sing a song called Vibrate.
It's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity.
Now I'm gonna sing a song that really calmed me down. If I close my eyes to pray, I heard the sound of the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Body harmonizes, how well done in the hay. Music lifts, his spirit sings sweet ballet. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. In joy and peace, my heart finds its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, I heard the sound of the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Body harmonizes, how well done in the hay. Music lifts, his spirit sings sweet ballet. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. find its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Now, song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warm in our power, cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my Mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian, make your small son a good Christian. Source of love that radiates, warm in our power, cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my Mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian, make your small son a good Christian. Now I'm gonna sing a song, Good Old Man. It's about our protector, our mentor, Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. Blue crystal eyes, color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue crystal eyes,
others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see how this transformation, we just have to put love in action. Now I understand. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action.
Hello, brothers and sisters. How are you today? Welcome to our Spiritist talks tonight. As usual, before we start, we'd like to share some announcements so make it easier to understand how it goes our meeting. So first of all, turn off your phone notification. If it's possible, try to find a quiet place so you can pay attention all the instruction, all the beautiful words that we're gonna see heard tonight. And our meeting has a format of 30 minutes presentation followed by the Q&A, 10 minutes more or less. So if you have any question, it's the time. And after that, we have a spiritual care. So spiritual care, we're going to have the magnetized water. So for this, we're going to explain later. Magnetized water, we advise you to have a bottle of drinkable water, a bottle of a cup. So in the right moment, the good spirit will magnetize the water so everybody can be benefit from. Our meeting is transmitted today by Spiritist Canada Facebook and YouTube and Continental Conference America. In Saturday night afternoon, our program is retransmitted by Kardec Radio, YouTube, and Facebook. So everybody is welcome to sign for these places so you can watch a live or stream after. So for those that like or would like to know a little bit more about the Spiritism, we have a good news because on September next fall, we're going to start a new course, free and online. So everybody is welcome to come here, learn, study with us. It's a free course. Everybody is invited to do it. Stay tuned because we're going to post some announcements inviting you or your friend or the whole family. So everybody is welcome. This group also offers a gospel at home. It's a moment that if you want, the group is prepared to help you to start and establish a gospel at home once a week, once a month, once a day. It's up to you. We're going to post the link you put your name, and we can contact you so we can do the gospel at home with you. We can start with you. Everybody sometimes need good vibration. We know that. So this group has a book that we're gonna put a link after, so you can put the name or your name, the name of the people that you care, that you love, that need a good vibration. So it's a vibration book you can put there, and in the end, the good spirits visit those places, visit the place that these beautiful people are, and give them a good vibration. And tonight we have the topic from the chapter 9, the gospel according to Spiritism. Blessed are the meek and the peace loving. Item 6, and the specific affability and meekness. And it's gonna be done, it's gonna be talk our sister Anna from Alabama. And everybody, again, everybody is welcome to comment, make questions in the end, especially after she bring all those information about the gospel according to Spiritism. And as you know, all our meetings, all our reunion, we make a opening prayer. So for that, I'm going to invite our sister Anna to come here and share this moment with us. Anina, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Better now you are here with us.
Yes, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
So I'm so happy that I'm going to invite you to do an initial prayer for us.
Sure.
And I'm going to be here in the backstage. In the end, I'm coming back so we can talk a little bit. Okay?
Oh,
Thank
all
you
right.
very much, my
No problem.
sister.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yes, it is.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It's I'm so happy to be here again together in this special time that we have every week. So let's make the most out of it, shall we? So let's close our eyes, breathe, be thankful. Let's seek with the eyes of our souls the sweet presence of our Master Jesus. We can imagine him next to us, present in this moment with us, in this special time that we have every week to study his gospel under the light of Spiritism. Let's, together with the Master and all the good spirit, our guardian angels, and unifying each one of us from heart to heart, let's elevate our thoughts and thank God for our lives, for this opportunity of this incarnation, of this birth, for all the things we have in our lives, even for those moments that sometimes give us pause, that give us doubt. And let's ask God that He stay with us and that we be reminded in every moment that He does not forsake anyone, that He is a God that is just, loving, kind, and merciful, and that His mercy lasts forever. Let's ask Jesus, our good master, our psychologist of our souls, our good friend, our brother Jesus. Let's ask him to stay always with us and not letting us forget that even if there are tribulations, there are resources, there is hope, there is consolation, and He's always with us. And He told us that there will be tribulations, but He would stay with us until the end. So, with our hearts full of gratitude for this moment, let's ask God to amplify our intelligence, expand our love in this moment, our understanding, so that we can get the most out of this time. Jesus, we ask you, Master, permission to start the works of this night, and so be it. All right, friends. Like Publius said, today we're going to be talking about affability and meekness. So, this is chapter 9. So, we have been studying the gospel according to Spiritism sequentially, and we are at chapter 9. So, um, we already covered items 1 through 5 that talk about insults and violence. And today we're going to focus on affability and meekness. This is a message from the Spirit Lazarus that was received in Paris in 1861. And it is a short message, it's only 3 paragraphs. But we're going to try to break it down and really think, how can we apply that? What is Jesus trying to tell us? What is the Spirit trying to tell us from the gospel of Jesus? What is the message here that we are reminded today, to think about, to work on, to reflect on? So, in the beginning of the chapter, right, Kardec mentions this verse from Matthew 5, chapter 5, verse 4, where it says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the earth." So, all of in this chapter, so far, and you have to keep tuned so that you're gonna tell how it goes later. But from these sections 1 through 5, and from the message for today, it's all about no violence. So, just as a little reminder, Jesus is telling us in the sections 1 to 5 that we should not even call people by bad names, right? Um, and the word in Hebrew was haka, and people really were very expressive when they said that, because it really showed some disgust. But he says that we should not address each other this way, and this is all coming from the Sermon at the Mount, right, where Jesus are saying, blessed are the meek in this section here. And Kardec is going to develop this whole one sentence, right, from the sermon, and he's going to develop that into a lot of good suggestions, right, and a lot of good guidelines for us to live in a way that is going to be according to the gospel, that is going to be according to God's law, that can actually really promote our evolution, our betterment as spirit. So, the message, it starts like this: the benevolence towards one's fellow beings is the fruit of love towards the neighbor, and produces affability and meekness that are its manifestations. So, if we could think about it, we have love, and from love comes benevolence. And then in this message, it says the benevolence actually produces affability and meekness, right? So, again, the message is love, the message is nonviolence of any kind. But the message continues saying, however, one must not always trust in appearances. So, of course, right, it would not be so simple as to be meek and affable and have meekness and affability only in the external, right? Only like, okay, I'm here, very nice, very sweet to you, very caring, but then inside I want to kill you, right? That would not be the intent, because remember, who is the master here? that is teaching us this, this gospel, this set of principles, this good news is Jesus, and he always wants us to be better, right? So if we can already fake it on the outside, we're just one step into the process. The goal is really to also, for that to be true, for that be part of us, not a mask or something that we do just so that we can appear a little bit better to others than what we actually are. So we have to look inside. So that's one of the things, is that one of the points that, as I was studying and reflecting, that's what I'm thinking. I need to look inside myself. It doesn't matter from the outside, and I'm usually short. So, usually people that are smaller, if you're tall and big, people are usually more, more afraid of you a little bit. So, but even with my stature, right, I can from the outside look meek, and that I have affability, but that's not the goal. The goal is to really look inside of me and see if those emotions, those thoughts, are they really showing affability and meekness, or are they showing anger, right, or showing any other kind of emotion. So the message continues saying that good manners and worldly skill can lend the veneer of such qualities. So it says that sometimes, just because somebody's educated or they have good manners, then they might look that they have affability and meekness, right? So that can be like a cover, or they can kind of, fake those qualities. And it asks the message, how many there are was feigned good nature. It's no more than an outward mask. So how many are those who was the fake good nature is no more than an outward mask. A garment was premeditated form, covers up and hidden deformities, right? So the whole path between vices to virtue should not be a path of trying to cover the vice, right? Just as we put a mask on, or as we put a garment to cover some deformities or some imperfections. The purpose is really to transform ourselves, is really to transform the vice into virtue, right? So it's all about who we are on the inside, right? So I'm not trying to disguise myself, but I'm trying to transform myself and really become what I believe it's the plan, right, that God had for me. It's that perfect, happy spirit and evolved spirit that God has in that plan for me. And that is my responsibility to work. First of all, it's my responsibility to be glad with who I am and where I am, right? I mean, got to start somewhere. So, but then it's up to me to transform myself, right? It takes effort, yes, but it starts with my choice, right? That is the number one step. And the message continues, really alerting us to this difference, right? Because in the world that we live, so full of materialism and things like that, most of the time people are okay just with the mask and the garment, right, of what it is just on the outside, not necessarily if that is really true. If it's fulfilling a purpose or something, people are usually okay. But we are really talking about here something more, something deeper, right? And we should not, we shouldn't be judging people, but we should not aspire to be, individuals like that would have a smile on their lips and then venom in their hearts, right? We that is not the purpose, right? We need to be true to ourselves. We need to be um, not trying to disguise, but trying to, transform ourselves, if that makes sense. It's also all about who we are in all situations. It cannot be that affability and meekness is kind of a switch that I turn on when it's convenient and then I turn off. When it's easy for me to have attitudes that are, show affability and meekness, then I do that. But then when it's not easy, when it's hard, then I don't do it, right? So it's looking inside of ourselves. It is who we actually really are, not who we're trying to make others believe that we are. And it should be something that we have to show some consistency, that we strive to be in all situations, not just when it's easy, right? So the message says that these people, right, that sometimes use affability and meekness more as a garment or as a mask, and it's not who they truly are trying to be. He mentions that those people are meek as long as nothing angers them, but they bite back at the least contrariety, right? So I don't know about you, but it is so easy for me to be nice to you when you're nice to me. It really is. When people are not nice to me, I have to breathe, to count until 3 or 1,000, depends. I have to imagine the Jesus Christ, right? We have to really watch it, and then we really have to dig in and do something. So but that is normal, right? When the test is easy, we go, okay, I can pass the test. But if the test is hard, then only those who are really prepared, who have been really working on that subject, will be able to pass that, right? And if we like a challenge, aren't we living in the perfect time to be tested how much meekness and affability we have in our spirits already, right? Because it's still a lot of violence. It's still, if you go to social media, people are just fighting. People seems like that anything can spark just, aggressiveness from people, and remember, we are talking about, not violence, but we are not even talking about Jesus in this part. Is not even talking about not kill, not, but we are saying don't say bad things about people. So remember that violence is not just physical, right? We have to watch our words, our thoughts. All of this have energies that can represent things that are, that carry some kind of violence. So if we want big tests, we are here living at the perfect time, right? Because there are so many things, so many distractions, so many tests every day. It can be at the line at the grocery store, it can be in the parking lot, it can be if you're driving on the road, it can be at work, it can be, sometimes in the family. I mean, you really have, we have many opportunities to be tested, right? But remember, we should not just be meek as long as nothing angers us, because then we're not doing anything. I mean, anybody can do that, right? This is a long-term goal. It's something we need to strive for, and that maybe will mess up many times. but as part of the learning process, right? But it can't be that just that switch that you say, okay, yeah, I believe that Christ really said that we should be have meekness and affability, but I do that maybe for 2 hours every day, or I do that for 5 hours per week. I have a quota, right? And then after that, sorry, but no, or I can say, yes, I'm very sweet as long as you do not, provoke me. That doesn't work like that, right? The message continues saying that those people, we cannot be those which was silver tongue when they speak to your face, change into a poisoned arrow when they speak you behind your back, right? So it can be that I'm meek in front of you, but then when you know I'm talking to somebody else about you, then I can take that mask or that garment and I don't need to think about meekness and affability anymore, right? So it really needs to be who we are all the time. I know you're probably thinking, wow, that is hard. It is, but we can do it. It just starts with our effort, our willingness to go through that path. Because remember, in our path to evolution, to becoming a better person, we are not alone, right? We have a lot of resources um, here in this plane, but also in the spiritual realm that help us. We have our cheerleaders, we have our resources, we have, a lot of things that can help us. But those things and those spirits or these people, they cannot help us if we do not want to do that. So we need to really be seeking to be a better person at all possible times, right? It can't have it cannot be an excuse, or again, it cannot be a switch that you turn on and then you turn off. It needs to be on at all times. So when I was, studying to and reflecting to lead this discussion today, I was thinking, of that part of the gospel. It's in Matthew 5:37, where Jesus says, let your yes be yes and your no be no, right? So a lot of people talk that, interpret this as Jesus saying you have to be clear in your communication, right? Don't be wishy-washy. Just say yes when you meant yes and no when you mean no. But to me, that always meant that Jesus want us to be on the outside what we want to be in the inside, right? So it can be that I want to be, because I am Christian, I believe in the message of the gospel, I want to follow Jesus Christ. So then I say, okay, yes, I'm meek on the outside, but on the inside, I'm not. It can be. I think that's what he also, to me, that also represents, but that's just me thinking. Every time I read this, I think Jesus is really telling us your actions have to match your thoughts, your feelings, right? So if you're trying to be a better person, then that has to be on the outside. I cannot say I want to be a loving person, but then I'm just cussing people or saying bad things, right? So and this is good even for our mental health, for our relationships. That will help us with everything. But the inside that I aspire, right, it starts on the inside with my wish, my will, my resolve to do that. But the plan at the end is that my yes from the inside, it's going to really be a yes on the outside. And there will be no conflict between who I am and who I want to be, and actually the things that I say, the things that I do, the way I portray myself, the way I interact with others, they all should be sending the same message, right? If possible. So it's also about who we are with the ones close to us and that depend on us, because sometimes it's easy to be meek if we know that the person depends on you, right? So if I'm the boss, it's easy for me to be nice and everything because I know they're not going to do anything back to me. But if it's somebody who does not depend on me or have no relationship, they might want to, fight me or something. So in the message, um, the spirit here, Lazarus, is actually um, warning us that sometimes we can be, like, and that is a terrible imagery. I hope that's not, um, our reality right now. But if it is, remember that it's all up to you. You can change that. But can you imagine if the idea that people have of you outside your house is different? So at work, everybody, oh, he or she's, they are so nice. But then at home, they're like, oh my gosh, the kids is like, oh no, it's so hard. The wife or the husband is saying, oh, it's such a difficult person to deal with, right? So in the message, the spirit is saying to this class also belong men and women who seem benign on the outside, but who are really domestic tyrants, making their families and subordinates, right? Because sometimes it's the family that takes, the brunt of our anger, of our frustrations, right? And remember, the family should be like a safe space usually, right? So you can imagine how much, pain that can cause. Or it can be at work. The person is okay at home, but they don't know how they behave at work, with the subordinates, that making their families and subordinates suffer the weight of their pride and nepotism, as though wanting to get even for the restraints imposed on them elsewhere. So it's almost like, okay, I don't have any control in one part of my life, or I had to be in this job because I didn't want to try anything else. So now others will pay because I'm stuck here. So my subordinates, or, my family, maybe I blame them for something. And we know in Spiritism, there's no such a thing, right? It's our responsibility, it's our choice, so anything, it will be just. So we should really think about that part too, and thinking, how am I, when I am at work, am I the same Anna that it is at home? Am I the same person when I go to the Spiritist Center as when I am just in a square, seeing just people come by and, seeing the kids play? Am I the same Anna when I go to a soccer game and my team is playing, that when, I'm reading something? Am I the same Anna when, I'm interacting with somebody on social media, as the same way that I am when I interact with people in person, right? So remember, it's all about no violence, right? And here we are not just talking about physical violence. Remember that being aggressive has many different forms, right? So the message continues saying, not daring to use their authority on strangers who would put them in their place, they want to at least be feared by those who cannot resist them. So again, you know uh, remember the non-violence, the loving and the peacemakers, right? That is, there is the strength. So one of the the things that Jesus shows us too is that before the message of Jesus, we would think that people that are really strong are people who are violent. People who are powerful is because they are violent. But, after Jesus, he's saying, no, that, the kingdom of heaven, that, the earth is going to be inherited, that all the good things will come to those who are meek, who are peace loving, who are just, right? So it's taking that idea that violence, it's good, or, it's power. No, peace loving is the power. It doesn't take much for us, if you think as human beings, to really fight with anyone. You just need to say something or look at somebody cross-eyed, and that is a fight. But to really mend a relationship, to really make friends, that takes much more energy, right? So that is where the real deal is. That is the real power. That is the real merit, is to be able to interact with others in a meek and peace loving way, right? That takes effort. That shows transformation. That is according with the gospel, not the other way around, right? So, and that's the thing. We cannot just, it's easy again to be meek when people do not provoke you, or to be meek with people that cannot really fight with you, right? But, or with someone who's going to put you in your place, right? But you want to be feared by those who cannot resist you. But remember, again, one of the ideas that was really clear in my mind too, and I think sometimes because of the news and the time that we live right now, we might be very tempted to be justifying violence for something. But remember, the gospel says that really the transformation is going to happen, but that's not, we shouldn't be thinking about taking things through violence, right? The real merit, it's really in um, building peace. So um, the message keeps going, saying that these people who carry just the meekness as a mask or a garment, that is just from the outside, that in some places they can be like this, but other places they cannot. They choose not to be meek. That their vanity rejoices at being able to say, "Here I command and I'm obeyed," without thinking. The Spirit says that they could very well add to, "Here I command and I'm obeyed, and I'm obeyed, and I am also detested," right? I'm also hated. So, you know, what are we really trying, to do? We are all here, we are all part of a big family of all children of God, right? We know through Spiritism that sometimes in my family that might be my enemies from another life, that in my work, right, that the people around me, I need to actually rebuild those relationships. So if my idea is that, well, here mean either the family or the workplace or whatever position it might be, I command and I am obeyed, but I'm also detested, I'm also hated, then we're missing the opportunity to amend those relationships, to actually rebuild. And we're just, spreading more hate and more anger, right? So the message says it's not enough for lips to flow with milk and honey, because if the heart does not do the same, it's hypocrisy, right? So again, is that yes, yes, no, no. Inside, outside, it should match, right? So it's not enough. Maybe it's a beginning, maybe it's a starting point, that at least through my lips flow milk and honey. So I'm very sweet, I'm very nice. Oh, really, the sweetest of all. But then in my heart, it's still not like that. That sweet is actually really sour. So that is a starting point. But what we really want is that the whole self, right, the whole person becomes really, meek and peace making, right? Because if not, it's hypocrisy, right? So he says that those whose affability and meekness are not feigned, never bellying themselves, right? So those that the affability and meekness, they are not faked. They do not have a cover. They do not, disguise themselves. They are the same both in the world and at home. So, and really careful, right? Sometimes it's so nice to also be nice right now, but let's pay attention to what do we do 5 minutes after we finish this talk and the spiritual treatment, how we're gonna, greet the people in our house, or that if we're taking a break from work, how we're going to greet our coworkers, right? We need to be the same in the world and at home, at the spirit center or at the temple that you go to practice your spiritual or religious practice, and then when you're on the street, right? It should be the same you that is trying to be a better you throughout. But again, you cannot just switch on and off, right? So, again, being the same, being affable and meek inside and outside in all situations, not just when it's convenient, with everyone, not just with the people that cannot talk back to me, or that cannot, do something back to me, at home and in the world, right? Everywhere you go. Because that when we are going already towards the end of the message, but the thing is, who can we really fool with our masks, right? Once we start to have some self-awareness and we really start to do that, inner transformation process, we know, right, that some things are not that perfect yet, right? There are things that we need to work on. So if we're using the masks, are we fooling ourselves? Are we really fooling others? If they're really close to us, they are going to start seeing the inconsistencies. But most important in this message, towards the end, it says, furthermore, it is said that even if we are able to fool others by appearances, we do not fool God, right? So we can't pretend that God will not know that that is just a mask, that is just a disguise, right? God knows that we have not fulfilled the plan that He has for us, right? So, as a summary, affability and meekness. So, remember, comes from love and benevolence. It's it's that resolve to have no violence attitude, and it's no violence in all levels. So first, if you really likes to beat people up, let's stop that, right? And then we can be, so no physical violence, and then but we it doesn't stop there, right? It's almost like smoking, right? There's different, it's secondhand smoke, there's levels of the exposure in everything, in health. But here the exposure is violence, so there's different levels of it, and we should be kind of working in whatever level we are and stepping down one level, right? It is an encompassing virtue, so it cannot be just turned on and off when it's convenient or when it's easy, right? So I have to try to develop affability and meekness when I'm at home, when I'm at work, when I'm at church, when I am at the grocery stores, when I'm all by myself with my thoughts, right? And it takes time. So, because, and this is my last slide, just because Spiritism, it's the consoler, right? And I don't want us to finish here thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. Do you mean that I have to strive to be meek like 24/7? Yes, I mean that is the goal. But remember that in a chapter that is going to be a little bit later of the Gospel According to Spiritism, when Kardec defines the true spiritists, that he says that the true spiritists are the same as the true Christians. He says that they are recognized by the moral transformation. So doesn't say here by their morals, it's by their moral transformation. So the goal is always to today be a little bit better than yesterday, right? And the difference, right, the path is different from everybody. Everybody is probably starting today at different places, doesn't matter. The we are all together to help us on this path, but the path is individual. My path is my path. There's nobody, not even my sweet mama that really loves me, she cannot walk my path for me, right? Not even my kids. I love them to death and I would do anything for them, but I can't walk their evolutionary path for them, right? Their spiritual evolution for them. I can help them. I can support them. I can pray for them. I can be the cheerleader. All of that I can do, but I cannot walk. So it's our path, but you see, it's their moral transformation. So today better than yesterday, now at dinner time better than at lunchtime, 10 minutes from now better than right now, right? And the efforts they make to overcome their evil inclinations. So it's not saying here that the true spiritists are the perfect ones. No, they are recognized by the moral transformation and the efforts that they make to overcome their evil inclinations. So, I can say that a person is a true spiritism. If you really want to call me a true spiritism, you're going to say, Anna, she's still far away from perfection, but she tries. She really tries, right? So I see that she's trying. I can see the effort there. She's still not there, but she's trying, and that's what it's asked of us. It's the effort, is the willingness, it's the will, and the work to be put, and it's our commitment to our moral transformation. It's not, remember here also, there's no set time. It doesn't say their moral transformation in 1 year or in 2 incarnations, just says their moral transformation, right? And effort. So I hope that the conversation didn't go into a place where we're thinking, oh, it's too far away, there's no use. No, it's really, um, remember, it's our responsibility, but also it will be our merit, right? Once we actually achieve that goal. So that was what I had for today for us with this beautiful, really short message from the gospel.
Hello, and wow, this is amazing. You say that it's short, but has so many meanings in our life that I said, oh my God. And we have a couple of questions here. Then let me put the first one
Mhm.
from Rodrigo from Winnipeg. And he said, how can spiritists teach us to have more affability and meekness?
All right. So I think all the things that Spiritism teaches us, right, I think help us with that. For example, I know that whoever I am here, it's the result of my choices, right, in previous lives and things. So it's a compilation of all that I have been so far. So if I want to change, I can. And it only depends, on my desire. Spiritism also tell us that we all gonna evolve, right? That the law is progress. So even if it's looking like, it's hard, but if we know that that is the end goal and it doesn't matter how long it will take, inevitably we'll get there, right? That is good. I think that helps. That gives a consolation, you know. Um, what do you think, Publio?
That's the second question, because it's very important. Like Spiritism uh, or any religion change you, but the way you face those teachings and keep for yourself, like you said, the spirit recognize the real Christian or the real Spiritist for the effort that he make to change himself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the first point. And the second question here is a continuation, because what are the consequences of the excessive materialism regarding affability and weakness? So the Spiritists teach us that part, that I have to make effort for myself. Like you said, I love my wife, I love my kids, but they cannot walk in my pathway, and I cannot change them. So here is a second question, is a consequence. What's the consequence of excessive materialism?
Right. I think excessive materialism is really distracting from our spiritual, path and evolution, because it changes the focus, right? Instead of thinking that I am a spirit, and a spirit does not need three cars and 500 houses, or a house that is that big, right? We don't need to accumulate money. I don't know of any spirit that discarnated and had their money with them, in this. The money is gonna do anything. It has no value, right, in the spiritual life. So it takes the it takes it's really dangerous, I think, because it takes the focus, right, and makes us really lose time and lose the best of our energy, because instead of using my best energies to spend time with my family, of spending time with me, then I'm thinking about working more because I can get more money and I can get more things. And instead of thinking who I need to be on the inside, I'm just listening to this external message that tells me that I have to have a hair this way, a face that other way, a house this way. I have to, so I have to conform. And then in this process, I'm losing who I am, because I'm just trying to conform with this message that is out there just to sell things that we might not need to buy. And we're just wasting time. Do
So
we have more time? We do. But do we waste it? Right.
this see all the questions here connect to the last one, because it's me. We have the tendency to think that a well-dressed person is a good one, right? It's the materialism, right?
Right. Right.
And when we really get to know the person, him or her, we
Mhm.
see it is only the appearance. So
Right.
again, the spirit is teaching us, like, this is not important.
No.
Like, and like, I'm not gonna start judging. Oh, Anna should be a little bit better because she's spiritist. I
Hmm.
don't have to worry about this. I have to worry about myself, what I'm doing with
Right.
all those informations, right? Jesus Christ came 2000, more than 2000 years ago. And I said, yes, I'm a Christian once in a while, maybe once a day, right? Like you said. So I have to worry about when I have to be a Christian all day long, right?
Right.
All the time. It's easy. No. But Kardec, you finish with the quote, very, very beautiful in Spiritism, right? Like, recognize the real, the true Spiritist for the effort that he make to manage his bad tendencies.
Right.
And again, we are not perfect. We are human like everybody else. But you know what? I'm trying my best to be a
Mhm.
little bit better today than I was yesterday. It's very, very hard. Yes, it is. At least for me, it's very hard. But I keep on trying.
Right. Right. Yeah, we know we are not alone, and that is the plan. So, and if we try and we put the effort, we're going to see the results, right? Because things are logical, right? So, one time we'll see that transformation, then we're going to be so happy that we didn't give up, right?
Yes. Okay, and I would like to say thank you very, very
Thank
much
you,
to
friend.
bring the small message, 3 paragraphs, with
Yes, only
with
three.
such a beautiful message that helped me, and I 100% sure it is gonna help everybody that listen this program today. And whenever he listen in the demand in YouTube or the Spirit, like useful for me. Thank you very much
You're
from
welcome,
the
friend.
bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
And dear brothers, as we know, we're gonna continue our meeting. And now is the time the spiritual care. So what is spiritual care? It consists in many different things. First of all, is the past. What is the past? Past is a very easy thing to understand. This is a transfusion of a spiritual energy assisting our physical, emotional, and mental balance. The best benefit from the spiritual care, please follow the guided audio instruction or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes if you feel comfortable to help with the mentalization. If you cannot close, you can follow the figures. And what is the magnetized water that we talked there in the beginning? Magnetized water, as we know, the water has the most powerful opportunity to get magnetized. The water receives healing energy from our body and soul, which you and your family can be benefit from. So everybody can be drinking that water. This is going to help everybody that can use too. So the spiritual care, and we're going to do a prayer to start. And this prayer is also going to be the final prayer for our meeting today. So for this moment, I'd like to invite you with such a good gratitude in your heart and say, thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to be here, listening those beautiful words from the spirits from Jesus Christ for the gospel. And would like to ask you a permission to finalize our meeting, to ask for the good spirits to magnetize us, to help us to get good influence, good energies, and it can be better today than yesterday, and tomorrow we're gonna be a little bit better. So be with us today and forever. So be it.
Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capharnaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hid by several illnesses, would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
Hello, friends. I'd like to say thank you to all of you and remind you to follow us through our Facebook, Spiritist Canada, Path of Light in Instagram, and Spiritist Canada YouTube. So subscribe there. We're going to have every week. You can watch these meetings every Tuesday and in demand too. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. So may the peace of God can be with us during the week that just started and stay with us today and forever. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Hello, brothers and sisters of my heart. My name is Fulvio. I'm going to play and sing a couple of songs to help me, to help you, to help us to harmonize ourselves, to prepare for the Spiritism talk tonight. So the first song called Vibration, and goes like this. Loving and serving
everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity.